Hello and welcome to one of the last videos I'm going to shoot in this space. I wanted to do something different this time around, and the something different was the fact that I wanted to tell you and take you through the story of what this room has meant to me. So what's different about this room from every other room in this house? Well, this is the room where my brothers and I grew up. All three of us, during various parts of our university, high school and primary school careers. And it didn't always look this good, but it was our home. This place. Hello, love.
Hello.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good.
What are you doing?
I'm busy on my PC and I'm just shooting a video quickly.
Shooting a video.
Ah,
Are you down?
yeah.
Oh.
Hmm.
So, the lady called me
Hmm.
to sign a range for collecting the keys.
Okay.
So, she said we can get it today, but she said that we either today or tomorrow, basically.
Okay.
But she's going to see it today. If it's today, then we're going to meet the seller at the flat.
Okay.
She's going to let me know, but then if it's tomorrow, then we'll meet her there or something. So I'm just waiting for her to get back to me. I said today is fine. I don't mind today. I said I don't mind meeting the seller there.
Yeah.
Honestly, you must just let me know. I said I can only do it at about 5 o'clock anyway.
Yeah.
Because I take Lauren to the dentist.
Got you.
So yay!
You don't even know how excited
You don't even know.
You don't even know how excited I am, dude.
You don't even know. Like,
I'm trying to see you.
Like, when do you want to move? I said, wait, I can see the key. The key and a bed in there.
Then we are good to go. Let's go, dude.
Come down, darling. So, yay!
We did it, Annie!
Can you believe it?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Oh,
Yes, I can.
it's crazy. So just keep on your parents there.
Okay, I will do so.
So maybe today or tomorrow. I would like it to be today. Actually, now I'm thinking about it.
I know. We would all like it to be today. Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay,
Bye. So, you guys officially know the reason why we're shooting this video, bruh. We got the house. At least the bond's registered. Keys pick up. We're just trying to organize it with the agent. So we've got the freaking news, dudes. We've been waiting about close to 4 months since the initial money put down and everything that we've had to do in order to make sure that this could go like it's supposed to. Today they sent us the email that the bond got freaking registered, and basically we were only 1 day behind the planned schedule, and that is why I'm shooting this. I wanted to give some clarity on what this room has actually meant for me up until now, because it will no longer be my room anymore. Yeah. No. What's more exciting? The part of what comes next, because it means I've got all this DIY good and ready to go on my schedule for life going forward, and that life is going to be with the woman of my dreams, Simone Gilbert, soon to be Simone George. And a big aspect of our life existed in this space. When originally I started dating her, this space was not as impressive as it is now. Bigger aspects of the story was that this room used to house me and my two brothers. And that was for at least my entire high school career. And in this room we had a cupboard over there. There was a cupboard over there in that corner and another cupboard in the far side. With a bed over here, bed over there for my brother, and another bed behind me, just about here. And we used to breathe each other's air, and it was very difficult in order for us to get away from each other. It wasn't the easiest of spaces to exist in, but also there were certain tendencies that did have a way of coming out, and that was that I wasn't exactly as well put together as I am now, and that showed. It used to show in my clothing that was laying on the floor. It used to be in the way that my gear was set up, and all of this that I'll show you guys later was definitely not here when we started this program. So because we were boys and we had our tendencies, we used to fight a lot in this room, but all of it was storytelling time. We used to have a brother that stayed over there that didn't enjoy us being in our space. We had another brother that was just too chill for his own good, and then you had me, the loud emotional one, and I used to love fighting because that's clearly what my benchmark of what it meant for me to be a big elder brother was. Looking back at it now, I am just really grateful that I got to spend all of that time and all of that space with him, growing as a family. I guess if I look at it now and how empty this room has become, I do miss it. I do miss it a lot. That being said, this house or this room and this home houses a lot of memories for me. It's where I struggled with studying. It's where I put swimming careers together. It's where we developed myself as a paintball player. It's where I built my fundamentals of what it means to be a man. And if I look back at it now and the space that it's become, I really can't fault it for how much of a home it actually was to me, and how much my parents gave me in terms of stories, experience, and knowledge when it came to growing up. So like I said, this is actually a huge appreciation letter to my folks, and I hope that one day they will see it. One day they will realize how much of a life they gave me here, and how much of this was me growing and getting to understand myself in this space. I was blessed, genuinely blessed. Now, however, that this chapter is over, there is a new story to tell, and this new story of mine is a lot more dedicated to the person I've become because of that experience that they have set me up with, and because of all the learning I've done up until this point. Big part of that responsibility goes to Simone Gilbert, the wife to be, and my love, my one and only. I could have a fair representation of everything that this room has meant to me over the years, over the time that I've been here, how much of an impact Simone has brought to my life, and all of the things she's forced me to look at in order to be a better big person. Better bigger person. I like that. A better big person. So getting to the crux of the story, let's freaking go. Simone orientated a good aspect of my life into this setup, and I designed and built this table and chair in order for this table and chair setup to be what it is today. And I liked the angles. I designed it. I then had a carpenter sit down with me, and he built it upstairs for me, and it could not fit in the room due to the depth of how wide the space is from here to here, you know. So we had to slice the table in the 3 parts, making it pretty unstable, but we adjusted that table with this little section here that runs past that, and this entire middle manifold of this table drops up and down so that I can stand and work and game when thingy. Also a design of my own. I've basically ratted it out from cool things that I found online and then incorporated it using stuff I could find in my backyard. That's what I built. I built this room. I built this space. These, we had 3 of them, each with a specific anime character that I loved. And this was an arts and craft project that Simone and I did together. We cut out the stencils from scratch, put 3 canvases together, and put this in. Later on, she upgraded me to the disc plates, which was the steeled version with actual comic prints on it. These are just freaking epic, dude. Look at that. Now, I don't know how many of you guys and your wives to be indulge you in that kind of way, but that's what she said we had to be in order to be happy with the space. See this poster here? This is a gift. I can't remember which birthday it was, but it came like late, and she got it to me because I'm a huge Marvel fan. It's the kind of woman that I'm marrying in September. She indulged my whims. She gave in and she set me up with dreams and visions. This over here is a look at my paintball career. Team Critical. Still have to share a couple of these stories. But the idea of getting this framed and carried over to this place was, I wanted a jersey and she found a way to do it for me. Absolutely loved that part of her, you know. So when you're blessed with a woman that does this kind of thing, where she just sets you up and carries you going forward, you can't help but step up and become something that she could be proud of. Something that you could be proud of. During our process, I obviously had various teams that I played for over the course of the years for both paintball and sports. And a big aspect of the sports that we played and ran for was I online gamed, and that is why my PC looks the way it does. And I game for a semi-pro esports organization, Leiden Esports. I play Overwatch, and I absolutely still love this game, even though everybody rages about how bad and how difficult and how much of a mission and problem it is. This bed over here has been with me for years, and I think a big part of it is when my parents built the entire upstairs section. The bed that I had was a small single, and with one of my paychecks I went and I bought this bed around the corner here from me, because I needed something that I could actually lay and relax on and enjoy. So really, you can't even put into words the amount of hours and research and love that has come out of this room. It's absolutely splendid. And show you what my whole went. I think there's a weekend that Simone went and painted all of these little white cases here, so that we could have pack storage, so that we could neaten up the flow. This was one of my trophies from paintball for the South African National League. Ciroc vodka glass was, I think, one of my brother's 21sts, and I've always just kept it because of how cool this print on the outside of the Ciroc glass is. Those are rubber mat balls that I used to do. And then obviously, because my girlfriend was so freaking cool, my girlfriend is so freaking cool, she got me, well, kick-ass statues. Currently she's sitting with my Superman version for him, and I don't have a Captain America one for him. But you guys can understand why it is. And I have my microwave for my snacks, my old router, and my kettle. This place is pure nostalgia at its best. So the bigger part of one of the biggest purchases I've ever made up until before this point. So a big part of what we've never spoken about is the fact of this TV here. This TV was a massive purchase for us back when I started this journey of mine of building the setup, creating this desk and everything that go with it. It's easily the most overpriced thing in this room, but I regret absolutely nothing. I just feel the amount of foundation that it was able to give Simone and myself when it came to inspirational videos, YouTube, Netflix, my development, our movie time, our watch time, my gaming time, my VOD reviews. All of that was all factored into this when I purchased this bad boy. And Simone was there along for the ride to help me buy it and get it. I remember setting it up the night, and we struggled with it because of how thin it is, and I was afraid I was going to crack it. And what my dad did is he helped me set and stabilize the brackets and design the system for the entire back section of the TV to fit and sit in place, so that it didn't look overbearing with my desk. When I came up with a concept for how I wanted this to work over here, you guys can see I put more than just my basic effort into my gear and my setup, and that's what people considered me to be eccentric, but Simone considered to be something that I enjoy doing, and she supported me in so much of it. And it's absolutely become a factor of just, we finally having our own home by the flat that we have bought. It's a little place in Wynberg, and I'm super excited because it is our house. Simone and my place to be. And you can't take any aspect of that away from me. Can't take it away from her. Everything she's done up until this point to support me in what we've done and gotten here has been thanks to her. And it's glorious. Absolutely glorious. So this is me telling that story. And a bigger aspect of this room that doesn't get mentioned in the way that everything is currently set up is the fact that these walls were repainted by Simone and myself when we officially started hanging out here. This table over here, she bought that for me as part of my first furniture, along with this couch, which I decided we needed a place that we could sit and hang out on, because being on the bed was just so freaking uncomfortable for hours and hours at a time. This little number over here, and that was because we moved all the boys' cupboards out of the room, and we stripped it and flipped it. In order to reclaim the space, we had to have this dresser till this day, this freaking drawer over here doesn't open like it's supposed to and shut. I guess that's the nature of your first real furniture purchase. Added this mirror for when I got serious about YouTube blogging and everything that came with it. Very grateful for this piece. And this was the bigger piece de resistance. Might not look like much to everybody else, but this is my goal board. This goal board was literally what kept me going down the path of where I wanted to be. And we have gotten him. Smiley face, forehead. So we have gotten him, and this is my goal board. And this goal board has changed over the course of the years, but it's been there with me through and through to have my ideas and everything put into place.
He's turned down the last 16 invitations. When are you going to take a hint? Maybe I should call us back.
So, it's been quite the journey, and I didn't know about 4.5 years ago that this one woman, through a friend of mine, could have been such an impactful player on the rest of my life. And I use player as in, if I'm Luigi, she's my Mario. She's my support to my main tank. And absolutely smitten over this woman. And in a couple of months I'm definitely going to be freaking married to her. So I'm gonna keep you guys up to date. If you like this video, like and subscribe. And to the rest of y'all that's coming out, just to, I don't know what I'm doing. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring, and take the time to appreciate the finer things that you have in your life. Goes a long